All right, welcome to Sword Reviews. We have Joepinionated. If you guys don't know, I went on his channel and we did a Ween album ranking. Definitely go check that out. And then in exchange, we're doing a Phish album ranking, which is, Ween's one of his favorite bands. Phish is one of my favorite bands. So, yeah, it's just kind of like a little exchange here. I guess it's an unfair exchange because it's like 10 albums versus like 18, right? But
Yeah, a little lopsided there, Sword. But anyways, we'll fix that next time.
yeah, I mean, that's fine. Like, these are fun. So, yeah, and I've been a Phish fan since like I guess last year. Uh, there was this GeoGuessr player, and he told me to listen to Phish, and he was all into like classic rock and stuff, and he was like, "You got to listen to like Rift and Picture of Nectar." I listened to them. I thought they were great, but it was like I think Cavern from Picture of Nectar played like on my playlist when I was just playing GeoGuessr, and I was just like, "Wait, this song is so good." And I re-listened to the whole album, and then I just started re-listening to Rift, and then I started just listening to everything, and I was just like, oh my god, it's so good. Um, and so I was in love with their studio albums even, and their live stuff's obviously amazing as well. So yeah, but what's your background, Joe, with Phish and yeah?
Hey, how's it going? My name is Joe. I have a little channel on YouTube called Joepinionated, and I was really impressed with Sword's channel, and I've been watching your album rankings lately, and they're dope. And I want to learn more about how to do that because I want to totally steal that and do that on my channel too. Album Wars, is that what it's called?
But yeah, I've been doing those. I'm lucky because my friends are like coders kind of, and like they made it for me basically.
Okay.
Like yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, man, he's really good at making those. Um, anyways, my history with Phish is that I knew who Phish was in high school. I'm in my 40s now, so this is back in the late 90s. And I had a very close friend, maybe my best friend, Tristan from the Tristones. He has a band in New York called the Tristones. He is a massive Phish fan. And him and his wife, who have been together since high school, they went to the Sphere recently, for instance. They go to Mexico every year to watch Phish. Like, they're massive fans. And I'm a huge Ween guy. My best friend's a huge Phish guy. And Ween and Phish don't quite mix. They don't quite mix on a joking level. And I was always kind of afraid of Phish, to be honest with you. I think that I was sort of scared off by the long jams and stuff like that, and not sure I wanted to commit the time. I was familiar with Farmhouse and A Picture of Nectar in high school. I'll mention a little bit of that as we get into it. But other than that, I know I've heard a lot of these albums from my friend Tristan before, and sometimes I'm listening to a song, like, oh yeah, for sure, or my friend plays that song live or something like that. I did do Evolve on the 2024 deep dive, or for that year on my channel. Other than that, like really not a lot, just a couple songs here and there. So yeah, I don't have a huge history with Phish. This is a major endeavor diving all these albums, and I'll get into more of my thoughts as we go along.
I mean that makes it more interesting, arguably, that you don't have like a super strong background or anything. I really have no idea what to expect, so
Good.
should be interesting.
Yes. Be afraid. And I know that Phish, first, I want to say to Phish fans, first off. Actually, first I want to talk to my Ween family. And I just want to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then now I want to talk to Phish fans. And I want to say, like, I'm afraid, I'm going to say a bunch of shit that you're going to think is stupid. First of all, I get it. Or, like, this is a total amateur. I'm an amateur fan. So this is just an amateur fan going into Phish, mostly blind. And so I'm going to throw a lot of respect towards Phish's way. So hang on for that. If I don't really like the first few albums, they're at the bottom of my list. I know that you don't like some albums too. They're at the bottom of your list. I understand the hardcores are in love with certain albums and they hate certain other albums that newbies like. So go easy on me. I'm just being honest with what I'm thinking as I'm listening to many of these for the first time and the second time because I did re-listen to all of them. And yeah, and so I put a lot of time and effort in. Now you get to see real reaction to your favorite band. So be nice. That's all I gotta say. Be nice.
Well, as you say on your channel there, it's just opinions,
These are
So
just opinions. My name is Joe. These are just opinions. I'm not smart. I'm not double checking everything on my phone. I'm going off of what I think I know. And that's kind of what my channel's about. And sometimes I say some shit that's really wrong.
I'll
Anyways,
admit to like, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be 100% glazing everything. So yeah, I guess we can get started on not glazing things. I think it's customary to let the guests start. So
yes.
do you want to start, Joe?
Yeah, for sure. So we're ranking 18 albums, 18 of the 20 studio albums. We also listened to a live one, but I've requested that we don't put that in the album ranking. It's way too hard. I can't figure out how to do that shit.
It's
But
very
so
difficult.
so if you go on to rate your music, you can actually audit me. My name is Joepinionated, and I've rated every song on every album here as I listen to them. And also, on Rate Your Music, it lists 20 albums. There's two albums we've decided to leave off of this, one of which is Party Time. It's really hard to find an issue of that online anywhere, really. It's not available on most streaming platforms. So that's why that one got ixnayed. The other one we ixnayed was Crimes of the Mind. And that's by The Dude of Life and Phish, which is Phish. But my friend got this CD ordered in actually when it came out, and even he didn't like it. He's a big Phish fan. So blame Tristan from the Tristones for that album being excluded, because that was after a conversation with him that we excluded it. My number 18 for Phish is kind of sort of not real album released on Halloween of 2022. Get More Down is my least favorite. And okay, so the only song that I kind of sort of really decided to add to my playlist, which is also on my channel, I have a playlist of 71 of my favorite Phish songs on Joepinionated. Phish Best Songs, title of the playlist. The only song I added to my playlist from this album is Egg in a Hole. And I don't have a lot of notes on it other than it was Halloween of 2022 that this was released. And this was the last album I listened to in my original deep dive, and I didn't go back to it the second time. I cheated. So I only listened to it once. Didn't really like this one, to be honest with you. And it was kind of at the end, and I was really excited to get back to the start. So that's maybe a bit of a spoiler, but anyways, go ahead. Sword.
All right,
Number,
fair enough. Yeah, my number 18 is actually Big Boat, which I think is like most people's least favorite Phish album, I think. Although Get More Down's kind of weird because it's like hardly even a Phish album technically, but um yeah, Big Boat, I mean it starts off with one of the worst songs in their entire like studio albums, Friends. In fact, Friends is probably just the worst Phish song I've heard actually. I don't know. It's actually so bad. Like I just hate that song. Um and then I mean, it has a few like decent songs, like Home and Blaze On are all right. Tide Turns is like all right, and I don't know, Petrichor is like a pretty good jam for the end of it, I guess. But I don't know, I just think it's just such weak material, and it just sounds too kind of like chill and easy listening. Like even for Phish, like it's just too chill and easy listening, and not the most interesting jams at all. Not a lot of just like great melodies or anything, and it's so kind of hokey sounding. Um, yeah, I don't know, not too much notable here. I'd probably give it like I'd give it a light 7 out of 10. It's so easy to listen to that it's kind of fine, but it's like a barely good album, I'd say. Um, so yeah, that's my number 18. And
yeah,
for
note
your,
on Get More Down. I did actually rate that at 2.5 stars, was Get More Down. Um,
that's fair.
and I think that was the only one I did 2.5 stars. Yeah, I believe we jump up to 5 stars for my number 17, which is the other one I don't have proper notes for. My number 17 is 3 stars, and it's Headphones Jam. And it's a long one, and it's a long jam. It's like an hour long jam. Um, and it's actually pretty cool. I just don't really like, I want to pull some singles out of it. There's nothing wrong with it. And I think that like as I get more into Phish, I know I'm gonna go back to this one and be like, yeah, okay, cool. But I'm still really excited by like, the 10-minute or less tracks at this point. and just kind of excited about that because I didn't really realize before doing this dive that Phish had as many shorter songs as they do. Call me ignorant, I guess, but
That's all
so
right. That's all right.
yeah, so Headphones Jam, I liked it. I my favorite song is Headphones Jam, and I added it to my playlist. The entire album is in my playlist. So yeah, I have no notes on it. That's 3 stars. My number 17 is Headphones Jam.
Fun fact: Headphones Jam is also my favorite song on Headphones Jam.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
We're totally lockstep here
but yeah,
on Headphones Jam.
exactly. And then my number 17 is Get More Down. I almost wanted to put it at last place. I think it's like very weird. I don't even know what it sounds like. It almost reminds me of Oingo Boingo somehow or something. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I didn't really know,
Okay,
like,
because time out. Hold on 1 second.
sure.
I think it was yesterday that we were going on a major Oingo Boingo kick here. That 1985 album that he did just before Pee Wee Herman.
Dead Man's Party, maybe?
Yes. Yeah, we were listening to that last night in our living room, showing my wife and kids that album because I liked it so much for my 1985 deep dive. Anyways, sorry, side note. I like Oingo
Yeah.
Boingo a lot.
Nah, side notes are greatly encouraged.
Okay, sorry.
It makes it more interesting. But yeah, I mean, it is very interesting, and that's why it's above Big Boat, because I think Big Boat is kind of just like uninteresting. I do think Get More Down is kind of interesting. I don't like love it or anything. I think it's like a good album, I guess, but it's not really something I'd go back to that much, and I don't really have any notable songs exactly from it. So yeah, just number 17, probably barely above Big Boat. So yeah, it's my number 17.
Beauty. Okay, let's do this right. All right, my number 16 album is, I believe, came out in 2020. Oasis. Sigma Oasis. Sigma Oasis is Phish leaning into what they do best, capturing that live energy in a studio setting. The title track is a strong opener, stretching out in a way that feels natural rather than forced, and Leaves brings a warm, almost nostalgic tone that builds beautifully. Mercury stands out as the album's prog-leaning centerpiece with clever lyrical play and hypnotic hook that stick. But the real highlights are where they let things breathe. Everything's right, Steam and Thread all feel like direct windows into their live identity, especially Steam, which has become a standout for both me and my friend Sonia. My favorites are Steam, Sigma Oasis, and Leaves. 3 stars. That's
Very
that.
nice review there. Very nice. All right, and then my number 16 is gonna be Fuego. Um, Fuego is really interesting because the title track. I don't know if you're gonna say this, but the title track to Fuego is so good. And I think that's generally agreed upon, kind of. But like, especially for like a late period Fish song, like Fuego is such a good song. In fact, there are parts of it where I honestly feel like it almost is like some of their best musicianship. Like some of the drumming on that is just so good, and oh man, I don't know, just sounds really cool. But then after that, I literally don't know if they had much of an idea for what the album was going to be like because everything else is super weak. I might even say most of the album is like weaker than Big Boat, but it just doesn't have the standout like Fuego. So yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna
so
say I think
sorry, go
Devotion to
ahead.
a Dream is fine, and I guess the line is like okay. I think the line's like a really hated Fish song though. I think it's okay, but yeah, I don't know. Overall, I just think Fuego is really the only standout here, and it honestly saves it from being like last place, low key. But yeah, still at kind of like a low 7 for these albums.
Okay. Alrighty. So far, I disagree with quite a bit of everything you're saying, so this is going to be good. Make for good, entertaining podcasties. Number
Wow.
15. Number 15, I'm going with Joy. Joy marks Fish's return after their 2004 breakup, and while it's a warm, listenable record, I've got it firmly at 3 stars. It's not trying to melt your face like older Fish, it's more restrained, more reflective. There are some strong moments here. Uh, Backwards Down, the number line, Kill Devil Falls, Light, and Sugar Shack all show Trey and the band still have solid songwriting instincts. The title track, Joy, is genuinely touching, simple, sincere, and way more emotionally direct than you'd expect from them. My standouts are Joy and Sugar Shack. But overall, this feels like a safe return rather than a bold statement. I guess I'm not into their adult contemporary stuff. That's it. It's 3 stars.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. All
And
right, and
that
then
adult contemporary stuff. Hold on 1 second.
yeah, go
My
ahead.
friend Tristan, has a little guy Gord named after Gord Downey from the Tragically Hip, and Gord was on the sidewalk wearing a Phish shirt, and somebody came up to him. I forget, it was like some guy, he's a Phish fan, came up to him, was like, "Oh hey man, nice shirt. Like you go to any live shows?" He's like, "What's your favorite song?" He tells him his favorite song, and I think it was something from Joy. Anyways, he's like, nah man, I ain't into that adult contemporary shit." Gordy's like 6 years old.
Oh,
This Phish guy's like, nah, man, I'm not into that adult contemporary stuff. Anyways, yeah, I had to throw in that adult contemporary line in there for Gord, my homeboy. Okay.
nice one, nice one. All right, well, it's interesting that you disagree with what I said. I'm actually so scared about where you're gonna put Big Boat and and Fuego now, but that's fine. We love
That's
to
all
see
right.
it. So, but for my number 15, and it almost hurts me to put this here, but I'm gonna go with Round Room for my number 15. Round Room starts off so well with Pebbles and Marbles. I mean, Pebbles and Marbles is so good. I don't know why. I don't even know why it's so good. Not even close to my top 10 songs, really, but it's really, really good. And then Mexican Cousin's pretty fun. I think 46 Days is obviously quite fun. Waves is quite good as well, but I don't know. I think everything else in this album just sounds so just kind of like fine. Like it does sound a little more reflective, which is interesting, but I don't want Fish sounding kind of like reflective, or at least that's the feeling I get when I listen to it. I want Fish, or I want to listen to Fish because they're fun. Like when they're really fun, that's when they're at their best. And this album just isn't really that fun. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, besides 46 Days, that's obviously quite a fun song. But yeah, Round Room still at 7, kind of getting closer to like a middle 7 than like a low 7. So yeah, Round Room, it's a pretty good album, just not amazing. So yep, number 15.
Alrighty. I don't think I jump up to 3.5 yet. I think I'm still at 3.5 stars, or 3 stars. Sorry. I might even go with and a quarter. For number 14, I got Sicket Disc, the Sicket Disc. Um, yeah. Some Fish fans love it, some Fish fans hate it. I'm on the not so in love with it side. The Sicket Disc is Fish at their most left field. This isn't song based Fish in any traditional sense. It's a fully improvised studio document shaped into something that sits closer to post rock or experimental ambient music than anything in their catalog. If you came into expecting bathtub gin style jams or structured prog, you're going to be thrown off immediately. What you're actually going to get feels more aligned with bands like Tortoise, early Mogwai, or even the more abstract side of Yola Tango. Long form textures, slow evolution, and a focus on mood over hooks. My standouts are The Happy Whip and Dung Song and Albert. They capture that balance between drift and structure the best. Am I doing something wrong, Sword?
Nothing. We'll talk about it later.
They capture that balance between drift and structure the best. That's The Happy Whip and Dung Song and Albert. It's definitely not an easy listen. It's not meant to be. Some of it drags, some of it feels more like a sketch than a finished idea, but that's also the point. This is Fish without a safety net, just exploring sound in real time. It's one of their boldest studio statements. I'll give it that. The Sicket Disc.
All right, I can say it right now. Is What's the Use not a standout? I feel like that's a like very clear standout to me at least, but maybe it's not for everyone else.
Yeah. I can tell you. Yeah, I'm not sure where I got What's the Use at. It wasn't.
I remember when
Sorry,
I
go.
heard it for the first time, I was literally I honestly was kind of blown away by it. Like it's just so entrancing and like distorted and dark and like I don't know, it's very cool to me. But
Yeah, no, I don't even have What's the Use as the. I have Fish Base as. Or no, sorry. Yeah, no, I don't have. I have the Happy and Whip song higher, and My Left Toe I have higher than What's the Use. So there you go.
well,
That's a Ween fan. Listening to
you know what? That's
Fish.
fine.
Listening to
That's fine.
Fish.
We'll be open minded here. Oh man.
There's no
Okay,
wrong
that's okay.
answers. These are just opinions.
Just opinions. Exactly. All right. um.
Good luck, Sword. Breathe. Just
Yeah. No.
breathe.
No. It's no
Just
worries. No
breathe.
worries. All right. For number 14, I have Evolve. And I think Evolve is it's definitely better than their 2010s albums to me. I don't know. I think it has like a little more guitar and just like more good songs. At least I feel like it does. Kind of just going off feeling here. I can't even lie, but like Hey Stranger is a pretty fun song. Pillow Jets is great. I really like Monsters as well. Valdez is pretty cool. And yeah, I think that the whole album's like pretty consistently good. I'd say. Um, Nothing like amazing. Like there's no standouts. This is not like peak Fish or anything by any means. But I think the quality is like pretty standard here. So yeah, number 14, pretty solid, like 7-star album out of 10. So yeah,
Okay, I've definitely gone up to 3.5 stars here. I'm not actually. I'll double check because I guess you can technically audit me here. Oh, I had Sick It Disc at 3.5 stars. Yeah, okay.
then again, it's all
Um,
it's all a feeling anyway. These stars could change on a dime, technically.
I
But
mean, they've changed. They've changed in the last month a few times. So it's not like, yeah, it's not like they're permanent. But I feel pretty good about what I'm saying right now.
nice, nice.
So, anyways, this is a 3.5 star album for me. And number 13 for me is Lawn Boy, which is their second album. Which is where I'm going to start to really piss off some people here. And I still haven't mentioned Big Boat, like you mentioned. Lawn Boy, number 13. Lawn Boy is where you can hear flashes of what could have been radio friendly indie rock, but they keep twisting it, adding jazz chords, abrupt style shifts, and that unmistakable Fish humor. That makes it hard to categorize this album. If anything, it sits somewhere between early Steely Dan precision, Talking Heads weirdness, and the loose experimental spirit of Captain Beefheart, but even that only gets you partway there. What makes Lawn Boy work is how casually it jumps between styles. The Squirming Coil is genuinely beautiful and restrained, while Reba is a masterclass in structured chaos. It's almost a Frank Zappa song. I mean, you could convince me that's a Frank Zappa cover, and I would believe you. Melodic, then exploratory, then snapping back into itself. Bouncing around the room is deceptively simple, but it sticks because they actually understand pop melody when they want to use it. My standouts are The Squirming Coil, Reba, and Bouncing Around the Room. It's a slightly easier listen than Junta, but it still carries that same feeling of unpredictability, like the band is constantly testing how far they can bend a song before it breaks. And that tension is exactly what makes an early Fish album so addictive. 3.5 stars.
Wow, that was a really nice review for such a not very high score,
Well,
but that's fine.
I'm not just going to hand out 5 stars because they're all really good albums, but honestly, like,
I'm playing around with
from
you a bit.
about here, they're all really good albums. I will say that. I'm not going to overly blow my load on how much I love them yet, but there might be that
Fair
word
enough.
love involved later.
Okay, okay. I'm playing around with you a bit though.
It's all good. Good. It's
All
good
right.
theater, sir.
I exactly for the content,
Yeah, all for the Benjamins.
Exactly. My number 13 is going to be Sigma Oasis. Maybe a weird comment, but I don't find this album to be like any different from Evolve to me. Like they pretty much sound exactly the same. At least I never see them as hardly any different. But if I had to choose one, I think I like Sigma Oasis a little bit more. Um, like like what happened when I just clicked that? Okay. Sigma Oasis, really good song as you said. Leaves is really good too. Uh Steam, I agree. Steam is probably the standout. It's the best song on this album in my opinion. Probably yeah, probably like the top 5 of like the 4 latest albums from Phish probably. Um A
For
Life Beyond a
song?
Dream. Yeah, for songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And A Life Beyond a Dream is one that kind of is like a very pretty song, I feel like. I feel like that's a nice little song as well. And yeah, Thread is quite a good closer as well. So I think if you compare Evolve with Sigma Oasis, to me, I think Sigma Oasis is a tad bit stronger, but they're pretty similar to me. So yeah, I'd go probably 7 out of 10 for it as well.
Alrighty. I'm still at 3.5 stars for the next two. So yeah. So my number 12, I believe it's 2002 or four. Undermined. What year is that one?
2004, I think.
Undermined. Undermined is one of those later era Fish studio album records that gets unfairly overlooked because it isn't trying to be chaotic or jam heavy. Instead, it's focused, song driven, and surprisingly polished. If you only like live Fish or the early prog freakouts, this probably won't be your thing. But if you're into the tighter studio runs like Billy Breeze, Farmhouse, or Story of the Ghost, this absolutely belongs in that conversation. The first half, especially, is strong. Sense and subtle sounds, sets a metal psychedelic tone, sets a mellow psychedelic tone. The undermined groove is tight and funky, and the connection has the subtle Grateful Dead like simplicity to it. A song I heard that the Ocean sing brings into that retro Hendrix inspired edge, and Army of One is pure Page McConnell magic. My standout tracks are Undermined and Army of One, no question. Even the production deserves credit here. Fishman's drums in particular sound huge and detailed. Probably some of the best sounding studio work they ever got. Sure, the back half isn't quite as strong as the front, but the consistency is still there. Undermined isn't trying to reinvent Fish. It's just them proving again that when they lock into some songwriting mode, they can still deliver a seriously solid record. 3.5 stars Undermine. I really like this one, and I can tell it's a grower. Like, it's one of those albums where it's like, I'll hear little things. It's like, oh, I don't want to like spend too much time. I'm trying to move forward. It made the dive really difficult in parts because I kept like, at first I listened to the wrong album first. I listened to my number one album first, and so that
Oh,
screwed me up. So because I kept going back to it. Anyways, okay, so yeah, Undermine. Apparently, it just got re-released. I think it was a record store day thing or something, or it got re-released in the last couple of years. My buddy Tristan just got it. Said it's amazing. Undermined, 12.
very nicely said. Yeah, I agree that Undermined is very consistent, and I think it's one of their most hated albums, I think. But yeah, I mean, the fact that I haven't had it yet means I don't hate it, I guess. So yeah. um, yeah, but okay, this is where I'm gonna make people really mad. So I feel like a lot of people like whatever Fish era they're into is usually the one they started with or the one that they went to a lot of live performances with, you know? And I think that's the case with this one for a lot of people because I just don't get it as much as other people, I guess. But for my number 12, I'm going with Farmhouse. Um, and I imagine this is in a decent amount of people's like top 5 or at least top 10 or something. But I don't know. I just don't think there's that many strong songs in it, at least for the studio version. Like Farmhouse is good, but it's a little corny. I like Twist actually. Twist is really fun. Gotta Jaboo is my favorite on the album. It's like just really like it has that like Fish like humor and like just funniness to it, or I don't know if it's humor, but it's goofy. You know, it's very goofy. And then it has that kind of like jam kind of thing at the end that almost reminds me of like Sick It Disc for some reason, which is cool. It's very like psychedelic sounding. Um, and I think First Tube is a really good jam and stuff, but I don't know what it is. I don't really find any of the rest of the album to be that enticing. Um, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I don't think it's like their peak material at all. So I would just go 7 out of 10. Although we're starting to get to the higher sevens a little bit. Uh, I do think there's a lot to like about Farmhouse. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that one.
You're saying this is a controversial pick, Farmhouse being lower?
I think so, right? Isn't it?
I
I think it
I
might
don't
be.
know. I don't know. I watched a couple of videos of like Phish fans ranking stuff yesterday. I was watching a couple of them. It was hilarious. I don't know. They're just so hardcore, man. And then it's just like whatever they're like, that one's crap. You know, like I think I can't remember whether they liked Farmhouse or not, but I think they hated it. They just like the lead single. It was on one of the things I was watching. It was so funny though. The Phish fans are hilarious.
They're
Their
very
reviews are
all
so.
over the place. I feel like it's very different on the person. I feel like, and I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, I think Farmhouse is one of their biggest albums technically, so maybe that's why I'm saying it's controversial. Maybe maybe Fish fans don't actually like it. I don't know. I have no idea.
yeah, okay. I guess we'll find out in the comments below. People, remember to like, comment, and subscribe this stuff because it's what feeds our children. All right. um, our nepo babies.
Exactly.
Um, okay, here we go. Number 11 is the last of my 3.5 stars, and so we enter 10. We're going up to 4 stars. Top 10 is 4 stars plus. Number 11, I have Evolve from 2024. I reviewed it on this channel, or on my channel, sorry, Joepinionated. That's at Joepinionated on YouTube. Check out my 2024 list where Evolve fit into the top 25 albums of the year, and it also finished top 25 songs of the year. I'm not going to tell you what song, but it's on there. Fish,
They'll have to check it out.
Evolve. So yes, Sword, get on there. Uh, Evolve. So I should probably mention that this album sits right at the end of what I'd call the 3.5 star tier before everything in their catalog steps up a level. Phish are clearly seasoned musicians here. Tight playing, clean production, and a really consistent sound across the board. It can feel a bit repetitive on first pass, but there's a strange simplicity to it that almost becomes the point. If you like one track, you'll probably like most of them. My standouts are Evolve, A Wave of Hope, and Monsters. Evolve especially feels like the moment things open up. More variation, more identity, more direction. It's not their most complex work, but it's a solid, beautifully performed album, 3.5 stars.
Nicely said as usual. All right. And then for my number 11, you talked about it very recently, so yeah, Undermined. I it's kind of crazy that I'm putting this above Farmhouse because that like feels weird to me, but I honestly think it's more consistent as you kind of said. And yeah, I really like the title track Undermined. It's just so catchy. Like it just gets stuck in my head when I listen to it, and yeah, just very fun melody with that one. So a song I heard the Ocean sing is really cool. You have Army of One. I also agree that that's a standout. In fact, I think we share the two favorite songs for that album. Like it's definitely Undermined and Army of One. Also, is it a weird thing to say Army of One reminds me of like Stormbringer by Deep Purple? Like you know those like kind of more soul tracks in there. I don't know why. That's a weird
Did you
comment,
do the
but
Deep Purple dive?
I
On the
did.
yeah, yeah, me too, actually. And that was sort of a yeah, that was a real eye opener. That's funny you say that. Yeah, totally. You're totally right on that. I agree.
That's always what it reminds me of. It's yeah, really strange, but
That's weird. It's really weird too because when I was doing the Deep Purple dive of that album, I was in my backyard doing gardening. So it was like a year ago.
mm.
And when I was listening to this one, this time I was in my backyard doing gardening. So that's just a weird coincidence, but also fucked
Oh,
up.
gives off the same vibe too. I guess Army of One at least, but not any
Same
of
vibe.
the other songs. Yeah.
Sorry, I jumped into your review again. Sorry.
Oh, no. It's encouraged. It's encouraged. Um, Maggie's Revenge is a cool instrumental. Sense and Subtle Sounds is great. Secret Smile's pretty cool too. So yeah, I don't know. I think this whole thing is actually pretty consistently good. I think I'm close to 8 stars for this one, but I don't know. I don't know if it quite gets there, but it's like in between. So we'll go a high 7 on it.
All right. I just did Undermined. No, I did Evolve.
Yeah, and we're in the top 10 now. We're in the top 10.
Top 10. Top 10. My number 10 comes from 1989. Junta.
Junta? I think it's Junta.
Junta. Yeah,
Yeah,
my
like
buddy gave me bad advice. Yeah, I think it's Junta too.
I think
Okay, Junta. Junta. My buddy told me it's Junta. Junta stands alone Junta stands alone in the Phish catalog. It's the one studio record it actually feels like is bleeding in from a live set. Loose, jammy, and constantly on the edge of breaking open into something bigger. There's a very clear lineage here. Early Genesis is all over the structural ambition, especially in how sections shift like movements rather than verses. And Frank Zappa is the other big shadow. Those sudden left turns, the humor baked into complex writing, and the sense that virtuosity and absurdity are being used at the same time. I mean, it's like screams Frank Zappa in so many different parts of this album. It's fantastic. It's better than any Frank Zappa album I've ever heard. I'm going to be honest with you. I like it more than Frank Zappa, this Frank Zappa album. I think this is a Frank Zappa album. What makes and sorry Frank Zappa, because I do quite like Frank Zappa, but this is a 4-star album. It's tied with the next few as 4 stars, so it could really be like number 5 or whatever. But so I'm not. It is 10. It's tied for like 5th. So Phish fans, don't fucking kill me. I get it. This is everyone's favorite. What makes Yunta special is that it never chooses between tight composition and improvisational energy. You Enjoy Myself is the obvious centerpiece, but even Dinner at a Movie feels like a live wire in studio form. The Divided Sky stretches into something almost cinematic. Fluffhead into Fluff's Travels is pure prog theater. And Contact, Mike Gordon's Moment, adds a strange, earnest off-kilter charm. My standouts are You Enjoy Myself, Dinner in a Movie, The Divided Sky, Fluff's Travels, and Contact. Trey's vocals are rough. But that actually fits the record's identity. This isn't about polish. It's about energy, risk, and personality. Junta doesn't just hint at the live Phish experience. It is the live Phish experience, just captured before they fully realize they'd never stop evolving it. I do love this album. It is great. So Phish fans, please don't hate me saying it's a 4-star album. It's fantastic. It's completely different than all their other albums, though. They don't have another album like this. I will say that. So sue me. Go for it.
maybe they won't kill you for giving it 4 stars, but when they find out Big Boat is above it, that might not. That's okay.
I was already warned by Tristan. So Tristan from the Tristons is not tied to my Big Boat rating on here, so don't go after him for what I say about Big Boat. Also like to mention that we have both listened to a live one. And yeah, I mentioned that earlier. We were going to put it into this, but it's too hard to rate. So we'll talk about it before the songs, maybe.
Yeah, sure. I could even mention it when, like, I'll mention like when it or where it would be, I guess. like when I get to it.
I couldn't. Okay,
Uh,
but here's the thing. Okay, then I'm gonna need to mention that now, because this album is the closest to a live one for me, and so when I get to the point when I'm like very, it's gonna take me a year at least to kind of know this band. When I get to that point, I expect this one to be right at the top with a live one, because one thing most Fish fans can agree on is that a live one is a big album. So I'll say
yeah.
that.
I mean, yeah, it's fire. It's very fire. So
Yeah, well, it was great.
yeah.
And this is
All right.
too.
Well,
Okay, sorry. Just 10.
yeah. No, no, that's fair. Number 10, I have Headphones Jam, and I hadn't even heard of this album. I listened to it last night, to be honest. So I can't lie, I kind of cheated. I listened to it only once, but I thought it was really cool. I think the only problem is it's so long, and it doesn't really have like much of a personality besides just being a one song jam kind of. But man, it's a cool jam, and I really enjoyed it. And by the end, it did feel like it kind of had a climax and stuff, and like a part that you really like at the end to kind of cement it all together. At least for me. And yeah, I mean, the fact that I enjoyed it the whole runtime, pretty much 47 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna go low 8 out of 10 on this one. I think that's my first 8. Uh,
There you
and let
go.
me spoil this. The quality is about to start jumping up a lot pretty soon. I don't think I have many more 8s. So
Okay.
yeah,
You go from mid to full bore.
I was thinking about it. This might be. I give 8 out of 10 to like every album I see almost. Like Fish is like so weird in the fact that they have like the least percentage of 8s like ever, because they like at the top I absolutely love them, and at the bottom I'm just kind of like yeah, they're good but not much better than that. So
I'll be honest with you. There's not a lot of bands that I go like that I average higher, like 4 or higher. And this band I do, which is
that's
that's
cool.
very rare, especially for a band that has this many albums. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I brought down Evolve went down. I originally, if you watch the 2024 episode, I have it at 4.5 stars. It actually finishes pretty high, or sorry, 4 stars, and now it's at 3.5. Anyways, yeah. I mean, this morning I had 12 4-star albums.
Wow.
So yeah. Okay, number 9 comes from whatever year, Fuego. What year is that?
2016, I think.
26? Really? No, it's older than that.
Really?
Yeah.
2014. Oh, Big Boat's 2016. Fuego's 2014.
Okay, 2014. So this is one of the. Okay. I don't get the hesitation some people have with Fuego. It's one of the clearest cases of Fish actually figuring out how to sound sharp in the studio while keeping their personality intact. Yeah, Bob Ezrin production isn't for everyone. It's polished, a bit glossy, and sometimes pushes the vocals a little too far forward. But honestly, I'll take that over another muddy jam band, Blur. And beneath it all, the songwriting here is some of the strongest they've done in years. I'm a Bob Ezrin fan, so I spent a lot of time with The Wall when I was a little kid, and I think that that's how records should sound. That's just ingrained in me. Little River Studios in Vancouver, Bob Ezrin, Bob Rock. That's kind of Mutt Lang. That's kind of what I grew up on. The title track Fuego is the centerpiece. One of their best modern jam vehicles in disguise as a studio song. Wombat, Fish fans hate it. Wombat brings that quirky, off kilter, Mike Gordon energy that keeps things weird in the best way. Waiting All Night is pure melodic liftoff, ridiculously effective, and Wingsuit. The emotional closer, huge, expansive, and way more beautiful than people give it credit for. My standouts are Fuego, Wombat, and Wingsuit. No question. If you're into the smarter side of modern prog and art rock bands like Porcupine Tree, early Radiohead, and even more experimental edges of the Flaming Lips, you can hear where this fits. Uh, it's Fish trying to translate their live language into something structured. Some And like I have such a hard time. I was talking to my friend Tristan about it earlier, trying to say that. Like I'm trying to like give myself some notes here, and I'm basically just scripting out what I'm saying. But like carving out of these jams that they're having, like the songs within the jams, is something that like I'm thinking about a lot as I'm listening to these albums. Some people want endless jams. I want songs that actually stick. Fuego gives you both, just in smaller, more focused doses. 4 stars.
I have to admit, you made kind of a convincing argument there. Like, I can't really deny that. Like, yeah, I mean, maybe I'd have to consider that if I do a re-listen again soon. Like, um, but yeah, I mean,
Which part? Sorry.
pretty well said. What was that?
Which part?
Which part? I don't know.
About
Like it's kind of a mix in between like having a song and a jam and stuff like that. I don't know. Thought that was kind of cool.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Cool.
number nine, I have the Sick It disc, and this one's really hard for me to place because again, it's just so out of left field. I remember when I first listened to this, I was like, what is this a post rock album? I was like, this is weird. Um, but I'm not gonna lie, if this is considered a post rock album, which I don't know if it even is, to be honest, album of the year doesn't say so, but I kind of liked that you said that because I've always thought that as well. This would be like my third favorite post rock album of all time. I think I really like it quite a bit. Um, yeah, and if I were to go to my standouts, like My Left Toe's really good. You got Insects, the Happy Whip and Dung song, like those are good. But my obvious standout, of course, is What's the Use? Just for me though, that's fine. But man, this song is just so like
Not just
hypnotic
for
and
you.
psychedelic.
That's a big song. It just wasn't for me. That's all.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Yeah, I don't know. It's just every time I put it on, it's just like this, that kind of like repeating like guitar line that he does through the whole thing, and it's just it gets like I swear it gets like more distorted or like weirder every time he does it or something, and it just like really entrances you into this like this dark like feeling into it, and it's just such an emotional piece. I feel like, uh, and yeah, it's probably one of their best songs, honestly, which is really weird because I don't think anything else in the Cycadus technically would be considered one of their best songs, but I think the whole thing is pretty consistently interesting as like just an experience, which I really like. I like when albums can make you feel a certain way and have a certain experience the entire way through. And well, that is something I like about Phish in general, I guess. But yeah, this album's very unique in their catalog and very good. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for this one. Kind of middle eight maybe. So yeah, very good.
Very nice. Very nice. I like to have it kind of quietly playing in my headphones as I'm reviewing it. Oh yeah.
That's fair.
So you get a bit more into it. Okay. Next up, my number 8 selection. Let me make sure I'm not jumping out of place here. My number 8 selection is also. Yeah. Let me see here 1 second. Do, 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 do. Yeah. 4 star album. Comes from 1994. I'm going with Hoist. Um, Pretty good moment in their career, really. And I think that Phish fans think this album's kind of overrated, like a popular one of their albums. Maybe it's just the faction of Phish fans I was watching on YouTube before we made this episode. I decided to check out some Phish hardcores, and it was just very entertaining. I can't wait to watch like everyone on the internet. Another thing with Phish is that there's really no history of Phish on YouTube, like a clear, defined history of Phish. There's a lot of ones like, oh, Phish level 1 to Phish level 2 and level 2 to level 3 or state, whatever, era 3, blah, blah, blah. Those ones are hilarious, but not very clear. There's really no like clear like the history of Phish like there's every other band, because I usually like to watch those things and kind of have something floating around the lineage of what was going on in the background. So I don't really know a whole lot about the band. I know that whatever they broke up and stuff, but I don't really have a clear timeline on everything. So I don't know, maybe it's a book I'm supposed to read or something, but maybe Sword, like, dude, make that video and get 1 million followers and make $1 million. 1994, Fish, Hoist. Okay, now the song's starting to bug me, so I gotta pause it. Um, I honestly think Hoist is one of the most unfairly underrated albums in the entire Fish catalog.
I
Too many
agree.
people dismiss it. Yeah, too many people dismiss it because the songs became bigger live vehicles later on. I could care less. I'm judging the album that's actually sitting in front of me, and what I hear is a band firing off one great tune after another. Down with Disease, an absolute beast. My buddy Tristan was always into that song. I always knew that song. I always liked that song. Scent of a Mule is delightfully weird. Lifeboy is one of the most heartfelt songs Fish ever recorded. And if I could, my favorite track on the album is Simply Beautiful, and If I Could. It's proof that beneath all the jokes, oddball lyrics, and musical detours, Fish could write an emotionally devastating ballad when they felt like it. What makes Hoist work so well is that it never sits still. 1 minute it's funky, the next it's melodic, then it's strange, then it's rockin'. It has the adventurous spirit of Traffic, the musical curiosity of 10cc, the genre hopping confidence of Todd Rundgren, and just enough eccentricity to remind you that nobody but Fish could have made it. And let's not forget the guests and horn arrangements, which add colors and you don't very often hear in the Fish universe. The horns are great on this album. So no, I don't buy the narrative that Hoist is some second tier effort. Not for a second. This is a confident, inventive, wildly entertaining record from a band at the absolute height of their powers. 4 stars.
I always see Hoist as kind of like white pepper. You know what I mean? Like it's like their white pepper. Like it's a little more commercial, but it's still like really good. That's kind of how I see it
Well,
at least.
it's just not as good as White Pepper, but yeah, it's good. No,
It's way
yeah,
better.
you're totally right. Like that is a good comparison because Ween has an album White Pepper that is yeah, it's slick and kind of their most easy to listen to like poppiest album of their albums. The most Beatles esque of their albums.
Yeah, yeah, I could definitely see that. Would you? I was curious because you were talking about their melodies earlier. I feel like they're underrated in like their melodies too, because they're known as like a jam band. But I feel like their melodies are so fun and like singable. And like I like to sing, so I like to sing their melodies and stuff. And I don't know, it's just really fun. Like they might not be the most complex or interesting melodies or anything, but they're like if they're fun and that's the style they're going for, then that's just
That's
how I
a
feel at least.
big part of it, and yeah, it's very impressive. That's something that like the first thing I did when I started listening to them was call my buddy up and was blown away by Fishman, blown away by the drummer. Because I never really got to that point. I always just sort of like saw Trey Anastasio as this like virtuoso guitar player and was never too crazy about his singing. But I didn't realize like I now I realize that they all sing and they all chip in and Fishman like really driving everything. Uh that just changed everything for me. I can't describe how much just how much different I feel about these guys now. I actually talk about that in my next little talk here. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun.
No, you're totally fine. Yeah, I mean John Fisherman's a really great drummer, and yeah, Paige McConnell, you mentioned him earlier. He's such a good keyboardist too. Oh my God, he's so good.
It's
Um,
just
so
amazing.
it's not just Trey. Like
What's
it
the
is not
what's the
just Trey.
bass player's name again?
Mike Gordon, I
Yeah,
think.
Mike Gordon.
He's pretty good too. Yeah, I
Two
haven't like
like
paid
just
attention as
like
much. But
he's doing stuff. So in Canada, once again, we have this band, the Tragically Hip, and the Tragically Hip are not for everybody. A lot of people don't like them. I love the Tragically Hip, but they have this a bass player named Gord Sinclair. And Gord Sinclair, there's two Gords in the Tragically Hip, which makes them the most Canadian thing ever. But Gord Sinclair, the bass player, just does a lot of similar things to him, like to Fish. Whereas, what was his name? Sorry, Rob Gordon.
What was it?
What was his name? Sorry, Gordon.
Mike Gordon?
Sorry, Mike Gordon.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Mike Gordon. I keep forgetting. But and yeah, so Gord Sinclair, Mike Gordon. There you go. Just does a lot of like experimental, like over top, like bass melodies, and it's just so unique. And you do hear it in Genesis for sure, but I hear it here. I hear it in Tragically Hip in Canada, and I whatever doing this deep dive through these headphones. I was just picking up so much of that stuff going on in the background, and how creative it is, and just I don't know why I've never picked that up before, but I really did this time. Anyways, I need to stop talking. Sorry.
No, no. As I said, it's encouraged, always encouraged. So, but yeah, I mean, they're great players, and they're always just written off as a hippie band and stuff. And it's like, well, I don't know, it's not fair. Like, but it's okay, I guess. All right, for my number eight, I have Billy Breathes, which I've literally seen in some people's like top three or top two or something. But I don't know. Honestly, when I listened to this for the first time I ever listened to all the Phish albums, I was pretty disappointed because I feel like it's much less interesting than a lot of their albums, honestly, or at least their 90s output. Um, and like, it's kind of crazy too because the first three songs are so good. I mean, Free is so good. Such a, well, freeing song. It sounds very freeing. Character Zero has got like tons of like rock energy to it. It's just such a fun song. Probably my favorite on the album. And then Waste is so beautiful. Like it's such a well put together song. I think there's a Rick Beato video even. It's yeah, basically what makes the song great, and it was Waste by Phish. And it kind of made me realize how good that song is actually. I can't even lie. Taste is pretty good. Cars, Trucks, and Buses is good. Theme from the Bottom is good, but I don't know. Once you get to the second half of the album, just not as great as the rest of it. But I think the first side carries enough to give it an 8. And I mean, it's still a great album. I just, considering how much I was in love with Phish, like from my initial listen, I was a little disappointed in it. But it is a great album. So yeah, and it actually went up on a re-listen. To be honest, it probably was more of a 7, but it's gone up for me a little bit. But yeah, Billy Breeze, number 8.
Well, nice. I mean, nice. Yeah, yeah. Good album. Good
You're
album. Uh,
you're implying something.
I don't know. Yeah, sure. Okay. No, we're not that far off. Okay. Up next, I am going with a 4 1/4 star album, A Picture of Nectar from 1992. Uh, Nectar's was like the bar they played at, and it was a guy, and that's what he looked like. That he had a mustache, and that's a picture of Nectar on an orange. I
I
think.
think
I don't
so.
know. Yeah. This album I'm very familiar with. My friend Tristan had it. I'm pretty sure I was with him. I might even, yeah, I wrote about that. Okay. A Picture of Nectar. I don't care what your buddy who hates Phish says. A Picture of Nectar is a killer album. In fact, I'd argue it's one of the records that proves Phish were never just some aimless jam band noodling into the void. My introduction to this album came in high school when my friend Tristan from the Tristones used to blast it in his Daytona 2.2 liter turbo. I think I was even there when he bought the CD. I think I was there. I was thinking about this earlier. I definitely remember him putting it. I'm not sure if I was with him when he picked it up, but I think I was. Either way, those songs are permanently welded into my memory. This is Phish at their most energetic, eclectic, and flat out fun. If you love the Grateful Dead, the Allman Brothers, Frank Zappa, Little Feat, or even early Genesis at their weirdest, there's something here for you. My favorites are Llama, Cavern, Tweezer, and Chalk Dust Torture. And speaking of Chalk Dust Torture, Canadian hockey fans know it well. It's been popping up on Hockey Night in Canada broadcast for years now. And shout out to whoever does the music at Hockey Night in Canada. We should be friends because you play like Ween songs too. Like you're fucking awesome. What makes this album special is every member is firing on all cylinders. Trey shreds, Mike grooves, Fish drives the train, and Page, he ties the whole circus together. Some people dismiss Fish because they don't get the joke. Fine, their loss. A Picture of Nectar is just one of the best Fish albums. It's not just one of the Fish albums. It's not just one of the best Fish albums. It's one of the best jam band records ever made. Full stop. Picture of Nectar.
Well, I agree with you there.
Nice.
All right. Well, I guess we'll go to my number 7. I'm gonna go with Joy. I think it's the best of their, yeah, I guess it's the best of their non-90s output, I think, for their studio albums. Joy, as it sounds, is a very joyful album. It sounds very happy. I feel like there's a lot more. Am I crazy to say that there's just like more guitar on this one than like the other later period albums? Am I crazy? Or maybe it just sounds heavier or more crazy or something, but not sure if I'm right on that or not, but um, that's what it feels like to me at least. And I really like Backwards on the Numberline. It's a really cool opener. Stealing from the Faulty Plan is also pretty rockin'. Joy is very happy sounding. Kill Devil Falls kind of sounds like Chocolate Torture a little bit. I think it has like the same like riff behind it or something, and I love that riff. So uh, awesome. And then Time Turns Elastic is actually a really really great jam, and it's also just a fun song as well. And this is kind of besides the point, but I that might be one of my favorite song titles of all time. If that's like a random thing to bring up, like Time Turns Elastic. I mean, that just sounds so cool for some reason. Uh,
Agreed.
yeah,
Agreed.
just a very fun album, and the reason I'm putting it above Billy Breeze is like, yeah, sure, Billy Breeze has higher highs to be honest, but the whole album is consistent for me pretty much, whereas I don't think Billy Breeze totally is for me. So yeah, but number 7, Joy.
Well, that's a take. I feel safe as a Ween fan discovering Fish so far with that because I don't agree with that. But
It's
my
probably pretty
next
high, yeah,
album,
for most people.
my next album is like you said is very controversial. It's Big Boat, and yeah, I got it number 6, and I got it 4.25 stars. I loved it. Big Boat seems to get shrugged off by a lot of fans. This isn't Rift. It's it isn't Story of the Ghosts. It's not trying to be. What it is an incredibly easy listen. The best way I can describe Big Boat is that it reminds me of late period Little Feat after Lowell passed away. The edges are softer, the grooves are warmer. There's a surprising amount of soul running through the whole thing. My standout tracks are Breathe and Burning. Also, Blaze On, Tide Turns, Waking Up Dead, I Always Wanted It This Way, More, and the sprawling Petrichor.
Is that the
Uh,
whole album?
Almost. Blaze On is pure feel good Fish, while Petrichor reaches for something bigger and more ambitious. Sure, some fans complain about the production or the lack of big jams, but that's never bothered me. It doesn't bother me. This is a record about songs, melodies, and atmosphere. Big Boat may not be essential Fish, but sometimes it's exactly the Fish I want to hear. Relaxed, reflective, and full of heart. 4.25 stars for Big Boat. Good job, boys. I love it.
You know what? I mean, that's what makes this interesting. You know, I definitely did not expect Big Boat number 6, but that's respectable. It's respectable.
Hey,
So
man, it's an honest listen. Like, that's the thing.
yeah,
I'm just giving you, like, I've not listened to these before. Like,
no,
I've
it's great that you
definitely
like it. It's
never
great.
heard Big Boat. I couldn't tell you, like, if you put that title or you put that cover in front of me, gun to my head, no way I know what album that is. No way. I would have
I wonder if
guessed.
you could
I
figure
would
it
have
out from the
guessed
cover.
King
I think it
Gizzard.
has a boat on
I
it.
would have guessed King Gizzard. Yeah, but I didn't know there was an album called Fish Big Boat until
Yeah,
4 weeks ago. I did not know that.
oh,
I
there is
knew
a boat on the cover.
Fuego.
So
Yeah, I knew Fuego and Evolve from the last like 15 years. That's it. Like the names of the albums.
Yeah,
So,
that makes
anyways,
sense. That makes sense.
yeah.
All right, and from here, I'd say this is really where the quality is like really high up. Story of the Ghost is my number six, and actually, the guy who introduced me to Phish told me this was his favorite album, and honestly, I could really understand why, especially on this listen. Uh, like I really love the opener Ghost. I think it sounds really strange. And I remember when I listened to Billy Breeze, I listened to this immediately after. And I was just like, oh, wait, this is starting to get very interesting now. Like, Ghost sounds like really funky and strange and like it's very fun sounding. And feels like that ambition is there for this record, just based off the start of it, even. Um, and then you go into Birds of a Feather, which is probably my favorite on the album, maybe. Just really fun song. Gaiute is such a cool jam. I mean, I feel like I've looked at the lyrics a little bit, and it almost sounds like the music is literally like kind of spelling out what's happening, like how it's like the what is it? The pig is like dancing or something, and then turns into a coyote or something and kills him or something, and then when you listen to the jam, it's like it almost sounds like dancing, and then it gets all dark and stuff, and then it's like, oh, this is the part where like the coyote comes and like kills kills him or whatever, and I think the coyote is the pig or something. I'm not sure, but either way, I like when it sounds like what is actually happening in the song. Limb by Limb, I'm pretty sure was made just to challenge John Fishman, like give him a really hard drum part. That's why it's called Limb by Limb because it's like when you're drumming like with your arms, I guess. Um, yeah, and Waiting in the Velvet Sea is such a beautiful song. MoMA Dance is really fun. And honestly, all these songs are, I don't think they're quite in my top 10, but they're pretty close. I think a lot of them are. So, yeah, this album is really, really strong, quite ambitious. I've thought about giving it a 9. I don't think it's quite there, but it's a very high 8 for me. And yeah, very, very great album.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. My next album.
Got to say that one for the blooper reels here.
For real. Yeah, I didn't fall out of my chair this time, at least. Thank God. Um, that did happen. My Jack Nicholson episode. Maybe check that out on Joepinionated. That's where I actually fell out of my chair and almost killed myself. Okay. From my next album is number 5 for Phish, and it's my last of my 4.25 star albums. And it's from 2002. It's Round Room. Round Room. What did you have Round Room at, by the way, Sword?
I had Round Room at 15th.
15, 15. Just remember that Phish fan here ranking Phish. He had it at 15, Round Room. Okay, I have this album at number 5. I don't know how close that lines up to Phish fans. I could be totally screwed up by sticking to this album at 5, but I quite liked it. And it's tied with the last couple, too, if you are mad about that. Sorry. Oh, yeah, Big Boat. I'm sure you're happy with that one, too. Okay, Round Room, number 5. Round Room kicks off. Yeah, this is the start of the 4.25 albums for Phish. It's not an untouchable classic for me yet. This is a grower. It's slower, moodier, packed with ballads. In time, it starts revealing itself. Instead of chasing the precision of riff or the polish of Billy Breeze, Phish sound loose, human, completely comfortable in their own skin. There are moments here that remind me of late period Grateful Dead, a touch of Wilco's warmth, or even some of the quirky charm of XTC. But it's still unmistakably Phish. My standout tracks are All of These Dreams, Walls of the Cave, 46 Days, Friday, Anything But Me, and my personal favorite is Mexican Cousin. It's catchy, heartfelt, slightly goofy, and somewhat perfectly captured what this album is all about. I had a hard time with that too. I was going back and forth on my favorite song from this album earlier. Round Room isn't trying to knock your socks off. It's more interested in inviting you into the round room, and letting the songs slowly win you over. And eventually they do. I got this at 4.25 stars and growing.
Yeah, yeah, to be honest, it felt bad to put Round Room so low because, as I said, stuff like Pebbles and Marbles, I think that song's fantastic. Uh, and Mexican Cousin I really like too. And yeah, I mean it's rough, but there's just not enough standout songs maybe for me. But that's fine. It's a good album. So
I get it. I just, yeah, for whatever reason, it just, yeah, I was in the mood. I was in the right mood for all of this. For whatever reason. But
that's awesome.
yeah,
So glad to hear.
this album was, yeah, was certainly a very easy listen for me.
Nice, nice. And then for my number five, some people have this at number one, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Junta for my number five. And yeah, I don't know. It's their jammiest album by far. As you said, almost nothing sounds like it because it's just pure jams. Like there's not much melody, mostly just jams. And I think you might have said this, but I do actually like when they kind of have a mixture of the jams and the melody. Like I like when they feel like songs and then there's a jam, uh, because then it feels like every song has more identity. Whereas parts of You Enjoy Myself, Divided Sky, David Bowie, Fluffhead, or Fluff's Travels, I guess, kind of almost sound like the same song to me. Even though it's fantastic, I mean, it sounds amazing. Um, yeah, that's really my only criticism with the album. I mean, Fee is just such a fun song. Fell in love with that song instantly. You Enjoy Myself is just a great jam. Pretty sure Trey made that in college for his like final project, basically, or his, I think his thesis or something. I can't remember, but yeah, very very great song. Esther is probably my favorite on the album. Just such a beautiful like narrative behind it, or I guess it's sad, but I don't know. Uh, very beautiful sounding at least. Golgi Apparatus super fun. Foam's fun. Dinner and a Movie's fun. Divided Sky, David Bowie. Fluss Travels. Fluss Travels is probably my favorite of like the pure like jamminess of this. And then Contact is also such a pretty song. I don't know. I had to mention like every song because I just love all of them. And yeah, it's a easy 9 out of 10 for me. In my top 50 of all time. And yeah, I mean it's only number five for Phish, so pretty crazy.
Wow. Okay. All right. Um, okay. My number four is from 1996, and it's Billy Breathes. Uh, it's one of my buddy Tristan's favorites. Uh, this is the album where the Vermont weirdos stopped trying to bottle their live chaos and instead crafted a genuine studio masterpiece. The jam takes a back seat to songwriting, and the result is an album packed with gorgeous melodies, lush harmonies, and some of the strongest material Trey Anastasio ever brought to the table. From the opening groove of Free to the closing sweep of Prince Caspian, there's barely a wasted moment. My standout tracks are Free, Waste, Talk, and Theme from the Bottom. Free still hits like a freight train, but Theme from the Bottom gets a nod as my favorite. A beautiful, melancholy song that captures everything. Everything great about this album. Billy Breeze isn't Phish's weirdest album. It isn't their jammiest. It's just one hell of a record. 40 odd minutes of smart songwriting, incredible musicianship, and a band proving they could do far more than noodle for 20 minutes at a time. If Rift is Phish at their most intricate and Farmhouse is Phish at their most approachable, then Billy Breeze is Phish at their most complete. 4.5 stars.
Wow, nice. Yeah, and I think it's definitely one of their most focused albums. Like I think they just sat there and they're like, we're gonna make like a really good like cohesive studio album. Like that's what it felt like, at least with Billy Breeze. So
Totally. I mean, it just, you can hear it. Anyways, yeah.
absolutely, yeah. And then my number four is, I guess anything is controversial at this point, maybe, but I'm gonna go with Rift for my number four. which is the first Phish album I ever listened to. And I remember, I mean, I really liked Rift and stuff like Maze when I first listened to it, but yeah, I'll probably just go through all the songs like I did with Junta at least. But yeah, I think Rift is fantastic. Lots of great harmonies in that song. Fast Enough for You is like a very beautiful ballad. Um, yeah, Maze is one of my favorite Phish songs. I think that guitar solo that they have at the end of this is so well built up to, and it's so like furious and awesome. And it's just I don't know. It's an incredible moment, honestly, for these studio albums. I'm sure there's some live performances that even blow that out of the water. I mean, The Wedge is great. My Friend is also one of my favorite songs. I love how it builds up, like that guitar part like builds up, and then it almost sounds like what's happening in the song, where it's like what is it, the bomb or something? You know what I'm talking about, and it just feels like it's exploding, like it's building up and exploding or something. Just absolutely awesome. Way is really fun. It's kind of one of their goofier songs. Same with Mound. It's Ice is really good. It's a bit too long, but it's really good still. And then Silent in the Morning is just really fun. Kind of reminds me of Bouncing Around the Room or something. Just really fun closer. And I love those little, just fun, like melodic songs that they do throughout these albums as well to kind of break up the jamminess. And yeah, the only criticism I have towards Maze is that Sparkle and Horn are just really not my favorite songs. They're pretty good, but they're just not up to snuff with the rest of it. So yeah, also in my top 50 albums of all time, and 9 out of 10 for this one.
I was
Did
really
I?
digging your whole review right till the end there. Then I got totally thrown off by what you said at the
Oh
end there.
no.
Anyways, okay, all right. Okay, number three, right? Number three comes from 2000. I'm going Farmhouse. Um, okay, before I spent this month doing a deep dive through every Phish album, Farmhouse was easily the Phish record I listened to the most before this month. And honestly, I'm happy that I did. This album feels warm, comforting, and lived in. Instead of trying to capture their legendary live jams, Phish leaned into concise songwriting and ended up making one of their best studio albums. It's rootsy, melodic, packed with character. There's also something oddly charming about it. The title track feels like a peaceful escape from the world, while Dirt and Bug hit with surprising amount of emotion. I've listened to Dirt for many many years, and like very familiar with it probably since the day it came out, and I never really took the time to read the lyrics until this week, and it hit me like a ton of bricks when I did. I always liked the song. I don't know why I never paid attention to the lyrics before, but once I got into paying attention to the lyrics of Phish, I was like, man, that song cuts. Sorry, where was I? They hit with emotion. Then you got the in-law Josie Wales, a gorgeous instrumental. Sleep, which is pure late night reflection, and First Tube, which sounds like you're outrunning an F5 tornado in a beat up Ford Explorer. My favorite song is Farmhouse. Maybe it's the beautiful melody, maybe it's the strange ringing phone hidden in the fade out, or maybe it's just Phish being Phish. Either way, Farmhouse remains one of the band's most approachable, comforting, and rewarding studio albums. 4.5 stars.
Pretty cool. All right. Um, for my number three, I'm going with Hoist, and I agree with you that it's definitely one of the most underrated Phish albums. I think it is just really, really great from front to back. And you know what I said about Maze, where I think it's like a little bit inconsistent. I guess you probably disagree with that. Um, yeah, I think Hoist is like pretty much completely consistent. Um, I mean, Julius. Oh my God, when I first heard Julius, just with the horns and just how fun everything is, like with the melody and stuff. I was just like, dang, this is the best
Yeah.
song I've ever heard. And then Down with Disease comes in, and I'm like, wait, is like Fish past Rift like actually good? And I was like, oh my god, it's so good, at least with this album. If I Could is like not one that I really liked that much at first, but there's so much like feeling that it has to it, and I agree, it's like an incredibly good song. Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of countryish, which is weird. I probably shouldn't like it as much as I do, but I honestly really love it.
Dude,
So
you gotta stop. You guys, look. One of my biggest regrets was being your age and saying I didn't like country. You gotta
I don't.
like. I'm telling you. I'm no, no. Hold on, Sword. Because I've watched
Okay,
that Ween video again and again, and I want to talk to you. Listen, one of my biggest regrets when I was your age is that I said I didn't like country. The reason being was that I didn't like pop country. And there's a big difference because there's actually like a roots country that is very related to blues and to everything you love. It's related, like the Everly Brothers are country. They're also like the inspiration for the Beatles. The obviously Hank Williams country. Obviously Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson is something that you might throw away as showy, but it's amazing. And once you understand that there's like that roots, like Sturgill's doing it now, and Tyler Childers is doing it now, and Emily Nenny and Sierra Farrell, and there's like this young Benjamin Todd group of like people that are making real music, and it's country, but it's not like that pop country. So don't make the same mistake I did. Don't. It's a you're stereotyping a genre. You don't like stereotypes, Sword. You're stereotyping a genre. Trust me. Just like there's some parts of that you're not crazy about, but do yourself a favor. Don't do like I did because you're gonna miss out on experiencing things that like you would have been able to experience had you not come to that decision earlier. Sorry. Back to your thing.
no, yeah, you're totally
I'm
fine.
saying that from a place of friendship.
No, I get you. I get you. I I agree. Like, and when I say I don't really like country, I'm talking very generally. But like, I agree. Like, and if there's anything I do have to say,
There's
I like
tons
when
of
it
country on these
sounds.
albums, man. The Fish, like, there's tons
Yeah,
of country on these albums. Tons of it.
there is.
Especially A Taste of Nectar. And, yeah, or, anyway, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I need to branch out more in country because I haven't listened to that much of it, to be fair. So like, there's also a reason I'm saying that where if you're not as
I
familiar
was
with
the
it, you're not
same
gonna.
way. That's what I'm
Yeah.
telling you. I'm telling you that's like, I totally regret it now because I totally miss out on things because I didn't know it because I thought I didn't like it.
And I'm open to everything, like even stuff I don't think that I'll like. Like if somebody recommends me country albums and says like, dude, these are so good, like I'll give them a try, even if I don't think I'll like them. Uh, and you know, you can too. Like, feel free if you want to give me some like
Yeah.
after the video, I'll write
Okay.
them down. I'll listen to them.
All right.
But yeah, but yeah, if I could, really good song. Axilla has got some of this like surf rock attitude to it. It's just really fun rock song. Lifeboy kind of has the same feeling of if I could, I would, or if I could, but it's, I don't know, it sounds like devastating, I guess. Really amazing song as well. Sample in a Jar just sounds like an absolute anthem. I don't know why. The melody behind that is just so fun. Uh, Wolfman's Brother got some funk. Cinema Mule, not my absolute favorite if I'm being honest, but I still like it. And Demand, man, Demand, I don't know why. I might like Demand better than almost all the jams on Junta. Maybe that's insane. I love Demand. And it has that kind of like split open and melt like feeling to it, which I love that song. So, um, yeah, it's like if Split Open and Melt was a jam, I guess. Although I guess it is in a lot of live versions. But anyway, yeah, Hoist, absolutely amazing. It's probably my top 25 albums of all time, probably. So, yeah, I love pretty much every song on it. 9 out of 10 easily.
Deadly. All right. I'm on number two now. 1998.
Wait, should we guess our
Fish.
number ones?
Well, kind of late now, no?
Well, it's a 50-50 chance. 50-50 chance.
Okay. Okay, well, what do you got left?
I have Lawn Boy and Picture Nectar, and you have what?
Left?
Story of the Ghost and Rift, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, left.
Okay, so Lawn Boy or Picture Nectar? I will guess Picture Nectar.
Okay,
And your guess for my number one is
I'll say Rift is your number one.
Rift. Okay, so you are correct. My number two is The Story of the Ghost from 1998. And yeah, so The Story of the Ghost is Phish's ninth studio album. And unlike most of their records, it was built from studio jam sessions. The band spent days improvising and carved out songs of the best moments. They carved out songs of the best moments. The result is an album that feels loose, mysterious, funky, and just a little haunted. What makes Ghost special is its atmosphere. It doesn't sound like a typical Phish album. There's this strange late night dreaminess hanging over everything. Like you're drifting in and out of a consciousness during a jam session. Mike Gordon's bass is front and center, giving the whole record a deep groove that never lets up. Never. My standout tracks are Meat, Ghost, Brian and Robert, Birds of a Feather, and Shafty. Each one captures a different side of the album, from eerie and experimental to soulful and funky. Funky. It is my favorite, or is it my favorite Phish album? Not quite. But it might be their coolest. The Story of the Ghost feels less like a collection of songs and more like stumbling into a strange room at 2 a.m. and deciding you'd rather stay than leave. It is mind-blowingly good. 4.75 stars. It's almost there. I love it so much. I'm not giving it the 5, but man, like, so out of left field for me. I did not know. I knew the song Birds of a Feather, but I didn't even know Ghost. I don't think I knew any other songs off this album, which is bizarre. Like, I don't understand. I think that I must. I don't know. I don't understand why this wasn't on my playlist. Um. So yeah, it was completely shockingly great on my first listen, which was just a couple of weeks ago. And I've been listening to this album as much as the number one album for the last like couple of weeks, like over and over and over again. Very, very, very good. And so yeah, and definitely on the lookout to get a copy of The Story of the Ghost. I just love the way it sounds. It's incredible. It sounds incredibly like just the way it drifts in and out on a lot of tracks. Uh, Great, super funky though. Like they're I, their funkiest album for sure. And so this is my favorite album. The way it sounds album, like my favorite produced album for Phish, is The Story of the Ghost.
It's funny that you mentioned their most funky album too, because I don't know. I've talked to people in like Discord servers that have called that era the cow funk era or something, and there's some kind of joke behind it where they said like oh this is cow funk or something, and like I don't know. I don't totally understand it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure around 1998 was their cow funk era or something, and I think that continued maybe into Farmhouse or something. But
I
yeah,
read that somewhere too. I can't remember where. Yeah. Okay.
pretty awesome though. And I gotta say, you were also correct. My number one is Victor and Hector. My number two is Lawn Boy. And I don't know, I kind of like this album so much more than like everyone else. Even Phish fans are kind of like, yeah, Lawn Boy is like kind of weak for this era. But I don't know. There's something about this album that's so immersive to me. Like it's so weird and jazzy and eclectic. And I don't know. Somehow it this sounds weird to me. It feels fun, but it also somehow feels a little bit dark for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Maybe that's just me, but most of it's fun, I'd say. But yeah, the Squirming Coil, oh my God, it has such a beautiful feeling to it. Such a like a breezy guitar solo. It feels like you're like in a park or something. Like I like listening to this in like parks, this song specifically. And it's such an adventurous album opener. It sets the tone for the whole album so well. And I love how nonsensical it is. Like, uh, wait, what is it? With melting wax and feathers brown, he tasted it on his way down. Stun the puppy, burn the whale, bark a scruff, and go to jail. Forge the coin and lick the stamp. Little Jimmy's off to camp. Like, it's nonsense, and they don't care, you know. And I think that's fun, honestly. I love their nonsensical lyrics. They don't have to mean anything. It doesn't matter. It sounds awesome. So, Reba is has got one of the most emotional, beautiful guitar solos in their entire studio albums. Like it is just so well built up to, and oh my god, it's just so good. And even the instrumentation before that, like the where the keyboards are uh like 1 or 2 seconds off from each other, and they're doing like kind of the same ish things. Like it's just so interesting. I don't know if the song means anything, but it's awesome. My Sweet One is kind of one of their goofier songs, and I like that it kind of breaks up the album. It makes it feel a little more varied, uh, and it's just very fun. I think it's a really fun song. Split Open and Melt was used to be my favorite Phish song. There's something about this that sounds so dark to me, but it's also like kind of funky and like I don't know, just it's just very fun. Like all of the songs that I'm saying basically. Oki Pause Ceremonies and Interlude. It's not that amazing, but it's 1 minute long. Bathtub Gin also has that very like psychedelic atmosphere, absolutely hypnotizing. Run Like an Antelope has such a cool guitar solo that kind of has that cool like really high pitched part near the climax to it. Absolutely love that song. Lawn Boy kind of breaks things up with a kind of folky attitude, and it's very pretty. It's a very nice um, title track, and just kind of breaks you out of the jam section for a bit. And then you get Bouncing Around the Room, which is a very welcome opener, just having kind of a fun, nice way to end the album. And I am not sure why I love this album so much. It is in my top 10 of all time. I think it's just so immersive, so easy to listen to, but also has some amazing jams and jazzy sections to it, uh, while also being somehow fun and melodic. It's basically everything all in one. Um, and I love it. So, yeah, number two, Lawn Boy.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, agree to disagree, I guess, on Envoy. All right.
Where'd you put it again? Was it 12th for you or something? I think it was 12th, right?
Yeah. Let me see here. I had it at number. I can't keep scrolling. 13. 13.
You know, I would have spoiled the video, but when you said Lawn Boy, I wanted to be uh. But yeah, it's okay.
Good job. Good job. You held it all in.
Restraint.
Restraint. You showed restraint. Wow. Good for you. My man. My man. Um, Number one for me is Rift, because there's only one left of the ones we're ranking. And Fish's Rift is one of those rare albums where every musician is operating at peak level, and somehow nobody outshines anybody else. With sounds carefully composed, is often just four guys improvising so tightly it feels telepathic. Trey's soaring guitar, Fish's fluid drumming, Page's incredible keys, Mike's funky bass, all locked together perfectly. What really elevates Rift is its dreamlike concept. A man's a man asleep, walking through the cracks in his relationship through a series of vivid dreams. It's one of rock's most overlooked concept albums, flowing naturally from the opening track, title track, to the beautiful wake-up call of Silent in the Morning. Picking highlights is tough, but my friend, Sparkle, Fast Enough for You, and Silent in the Morning are absolute standouts. And if I had to choose just one favorite, my friend, he's got a knife. Rift is an album I could eat, sleep, and breathe forever. And fittingly enough, lately, I literally fall asleep to it. 5 stars. My friend, he's got a knife. This is the first one I listened to when I started doing the deep dive, and I was freaking out. I was like, whoa, wait a second. Because it was
Yeah,
something I
yeah, you
haven't
said
listened to before. Yeah, it was the first album that I'd listened to when I started doing the deep dive. I skipped the first two because I had recently done them on annual dives. And when I got to this year, I just skipped it because I didn't do, anyways, I didn't do it on my deep dive for that year. And so, yeah, it was the first one of the Phish albums that I had never heard before. And yeah, blew my mind. It blew my mind. It's like extremely good. Um, yeah, yeah, another great kind of concept album in their wheelhouse, and just it just never ends. It's like the labyrinth on the cover or whatever, the maze. It just, I mean, I don't know. Sorry, I kind of. Anyways,
no, you're
it
good.
never. Yeah. Anyways, it just it's so much fun. It's really great. It scared me when I first heard it. It scared me because I don't want to be a Fish fan because like it's not just because I'm a diehard like some people they're Kiss fans and some people they're Ween fans and some people they're like they put everything behind something. And this is one of those bands where it's kind of like I understand that it's better the more that you get involved. You know, similar to Ween, similar to Grateful Dead, similar like, but that's a lot of time and a lot of money. And so I was scared when I heard this album at the start because I'm like, oh my God, like, what if like I'm just a massive like diehard Fish fan here, which I've become a very big Fish fan through this dive. So thank you, Sword, because yeah, I love it. It's like it's way better than I thought it was. I was, I don't know if I'm gonna be into the live stuff and like I don't know how deep I want to go because I want to keep like diving other stuff, but I can tell this is one of those things. When I started doing the channel, Public Enemy it screwed me up. It threw off my timeline because I got really into them. And John Prine, I was sort of already, I guess, really into. But this is like, as far as the Prince was a very good dive, like for like a deep dive. Prince was a deep dive that like had a lot of very good albums. Um, REM had a lot of really great albums. Some of them I didn't like. Like The Cure was rough for me personally. Rough. That was a rough dive. The band. Oh my god, I can't remember their name right now. But there's been a few rough rides. This is like number one or two for me. It's probably number two for me, second only to Public Enemy for like destroying me as I'm diving this group. Where I'm like, oh my god, like I'm trying so hard not to like go over the edge here. And I told this to my friend Tristan, who's a massive fan, earlier today on the phone. I said that. I'm like, like I know like I'm already like, okay, I need the Story of the Ghost and I need Rift and I need like a few albums like ASAP on Wax. It's already just like bank accounts fucked. So like without even looking at like I asked him like, so when do they come here kind of thing on tour? Like this is
Yeah.
already bad. So I don't know, like respect, Fish, respect. I have my stock in Ween, but I will, if it's convenient, I will see you in concert, and I will certainly buy at least my number one and two on Wax and support. I don't know if I'm going to go any further than that, but thank you, Fish, and thank you, Sword, for making me dive.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, maybe not so much that it's destroying you, but uh, um, I will say too, like I don't know, I consider myself like a pretty big Phish fan. I'd say they're my second favorite band of all time. But I haven't honestly. I still have much more to like go through technically, and what I mean by that is you don't have to like see them live all the time or buy all their stuff or like listen to all their live albums or something. It's do what's feasible and what you want to do. I would say like I've only listened to a few of their live albums and a lot of them are really long. Um, so but I listen to them a lot just like casually. Like if I'm on the train or something, I'll throw on some Phish or you know whatever. So or if I'm just listening to music and I want to just chill, maybe I'll throw some Phish on. So, yeah. But basically, yeah, we'll get to my number one here. It's gonna be a picture of Nectar. To be honest, I see this as pretty like the same as Lawn Boy to me, or not the same stylistically, but the same like quality maybe. I honestly go back and forth between which is my real number one. I think this one is more ambitious, more eclectic, maybe not technically as consistent, but I think the highs are just so freaking high on this thing. I absolutely love Llama. I mean, just the drums, the dissonant guitar, just it is just such a fun song. It's nonsense as usual, pretty awesome. Cavern, very fun song as well. Kind of got that like jazz funk sort of vibe. And you got like give the director a serpent deflector. Like that part is just so fun, like to sing that part. Um, Poor Heart is kind of one of those fun, goofy songs. Kind of reminds me of My Sweet One a little bit. And then you got Stash, which, yeah, Stash is just amazing. I mean, it's cliche, but it's amazing. Like, just the build up to it. You got the great keyboard playing. You got like the amazing guitar solo at the end. Just flows together so well. And the live one version is so good. The one on live one is amazing. Guella Papyrus, honestly, not one of my favorites, but I still like it. Then you got like the Landlady a little bit on. The Landlady's such a good little instrumental piece. Um, Glide is really goofy and fun. Tweezer has that just crazy dissonant jam in it, and yeah, Mango Song. Mango Song's just kind of funny because anytime I see like mango ice cream now or like a mango smoothie or something, I'm just thinking like your hands and feet are mangoes. You're gonna be a genius anyway. Like that thing. Pretty goofy. Chalk Dust Torture has just such a killer riff, great guitar solo. I love just singing like uh what is it? Live while you live while you're young. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but like, you know. And then yeah, ending with Tweezer Reprise, I feel like kind of centers the album a little bit around Tweezer, I think. Which maybe you could call the climax of the album just being that kind of like dissonant guitar jam. And I like when something feels somehow narratively put together, even though it's not. Like I don't know why, but it feels like that anyway to me. Um, yeah, I kind of go back and forth between this and Lawn Boy. I think the highs on this are so high, and yeah, I just love all the guitar on it. It's just really rocking. A lot of Latin rock, a lot of jazz, a lot of funk, a lot of just weird, ambitious experiments here. And yeah, I don't know. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. Not quite in my top five, but my top 10 for sure. On both this and Lawn Boy are 10 out of 10s. So, which I only have like 11 10 out of 10s, I think, in total, something like that. So, yeah, I love Phish, as you can see. And yeah, I'm glad you really enjoyed the dive. And yeah, even though I don't think they're super consistent all the way through or anything, I think like, at least for me, the highs are very much there. But yeah.
Uh, yeah, I just yeah, absolutely blown away. I don't know what to say. They're very, very good, and yeah, they just remind me of so many things that I like. Like like I was saying, I like Frank Zappa, but like that Junta album to me is like better than any Frank Zappa album. So it's like, oh shit, that like puts him like at an elite level right away. And I wasn't familiar with that album before this dive either. So that's one of the ones I wasn't really that familiar with. I'd listened to it once, and that was it. And so, anyways, yeah, I mean, I just yeah, kind of blown away. just in general, just at how good they are, especially how all four of them are so good. And I understand that like diving deeper into the lyrics and clearly their live jams and stuff like that because I love bands that do that. I love Grateful Dead are great. I love Ween, obviously. They're not a jam band. Ween is not a jam band, but I love Ween, and it's not just that they're a jam band. Like that's the thing is like they're more than that, and I didn't really realize that. And I should have known better because I all like a lot of my songs. I knew some of these songs on my top 10 list beforehand, so I should have went deeper. And I feel kind of stupid about it, but I certainly saved myself a lot of money.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Uh,
Should we go into our top 10 songs again?
yeah, I'd like to mention though too that like oh yeah, the a live one I did have it kind of similar to Yunta, and um, yeah, it was great. I loved it. It was. I'm not too crazy about like the 30-minute song. What is it again? Tweezer.
Yeah, it's Tweezer. I agree. It's a little bit too long, a little bit too like meandering maybe. Although I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of
Maybe
people who think all of Fish is meandering, but I don't
if
agree
you're
with that.
there, yeah, I don't know. But anyways, I wasn't as crazy about it yet. But I also know that I love a lot of 30-minute songs from other artists. So maybe someday. But yeah, I did like that album quite a bit, and it would finish somewhere in the middle. I wouldn't finish it like I really enjoyed some of these studio albums more than it, so that was just me.
Yeah, I was gonna put a live one around Story of the Ghost somewhere.
Okay,
Not really sure. It's so good. It's just a little too long for me. I can't handle like albums that are just too long, and unfortunately, a lot of Fish albums or Fish live albums are too long. But um, I don't know. It's fantastic though. I mean, it's really really
I
good,
listened,
especially the first half.
yeah, and I listened to it last, and so it took me a while to listen to. I remember that too because I was sort of like out of album mode, and I was like, oh yeah, a couple days later, like, oh yeah, okay, I haven't listened to this one yet, and then it took me a while. Like I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like we're almost done the album now. And then I looked, I was like, no, we're not even close to almost done the album now. So, anyways, it took a while. So it was broken up. I didn't listen to it straight through. So that probably changes things too, I'm sure. But yeah, anyways, that's that.
Should we get into the top 10 songs?
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, like that thing keeps falling down, or maybe it's multiple things.
it's multiple. All right. Okay, top 10 songs. I'll go first.
Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
top 10 songs. Number 10, a song that the host doesn't like. Sparkle off of Rift. Right? Rift?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
Rift.
it's Rift. Oh, there that goes. Sparkle off of Rift. The studio's falling apart. I like the funkiness, and I think it's a cute little song. I don't understand how anybody would ever not like this one. But off the bat, I love it. It's great.
A good
It's a
song.
great song. Great.
Wouldn't even make my top 50.
Sparkle. Riff. But honestly, like, I'm having a really hard time with Riff. Like, that was the thing is that, okay, sorry, to pick this list, Silent in the Morning and Fast Enough for You and Sparkle were like up until 1 minute ago in a three-way race for 10th spot on my list. So I want to throw that out there to Fish fans, just so you know. Okay. Which one would you pick out of those three?
Out of those three, um, Silent in the
All
Morning,
right.
I think.
Okay, good choice. Good choice. All right. I think that was my second choice.
Oh wait, actually, would it'd be more interesting if I did my number 10 right now,
Okay,
right?
you're number,
And
sorry,
then
sorry, you're a 10.
yeah, I guess we could do that. I didn't realize. I never thought about it actually.
Well, yeah, we're going back
Okay,
and
my number
forth.
10. Sure, sure. My number 10 is Maze. As I said, just really awesome like build up to that guitar solo, and actually that's mostly all I have to say about it. I mean, the chorus is fine. Actually, yeah, it's kind of fun, but I think mostly it's the guitar solo and the build up to that is just really really cool. And it's cohesively like a jam, but it's also a song. Like it doesn't feel like just a jam. It's kind of like what you said. Like it's a good balance of the two. And I think 8 minutes is like a perfect length for it. I don't think it overstays its welcome at all. Uh, and yeah, just really awesome. So number 10, Maze.
Noise. Uh,
Actually, could I bring up a point I wanted to kind of mention? Like, how much would you say? Because people always use the word jam band, and it almost has like a negative connotation. How much do you think Phish could be considered like a prog band? Because Maze to me almost sounds like kind of proggy. I mean, kind of. You got a lot of the like the keyboard like building up to something, and that's like the guitar solo and stuff like that. And I don't know what you think of that, but I've always kind of thought about that.
well, I honestly think that jam and prog go hand in hand a lot of times. So, or well, a lot of jam bands happen to be prog bands, but I think that for sure. I mean, there's so much prog in this stuff. I haven't watched it yet. My buddy told me to watch Phish and Trey or Phish inducting Genesis into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But apparently they do, and they gush over like the old Genesis of Peter Gabriel, like the first few albums, and Foxtrot, I think in particular. But I mean, like there's a lot of prog in their music. Like I said, I think like their clear influences to me are Genesis, Frank Zappa, Steely Dan. Those are the three biggest ones that I hear throughout all. Grateful Dead, sorry, four Grateful Dead.
Yeah, yeah. I
Sorry,
was gonna
sorry,
say
Grateful
where's
Dead.
Grateful Dead, but
But yeah, so
yeah.
four Grateful Dead. Um, that's what you hear, and so like Trey, the way Trey sings to me is very Grateful Dead, in a lot of ways too. Like that sort of like he clearly admires Jerry Garcia. like there's no
Oh yeah.
ands, ifs, or buts about that. But the but but yeah, I mean the jamming part with the keyboards and the bass and the drums to me is very Genesis, and it's like because it's like the best, like it's that good. Like Genesis is the best at prog, and so when Phish is doing prog, I think they're doing it as good as Genesis, which is nuts to say, but
That's
I
awesome
have to
though.
say that. I have to say that. So like, I think people are held up. Like I was held up. I think because I was just like, yeah, I don't want to spend the time listening to people play songs for 30 minutes. But listening to the albums, you're not doing that. You're actually just listening to all the songs and going like, oh my fucking god, these guys are good. So listen to them if you're into Genesis or into Steely Dan. Or I think if you're into Steely Dan, you've automatically listened to Phish. I just think that for some reason.
Probably true.
Yeah, or Grateful Dead. I think that Phish is a natural connection, and also whatever the fourth one was again. I can't remember. What did I say?
Uh, but yeah, I was Grateful Dead, Suite, and Frank Zappa,
Frank
Genesis.
Zappa. Yeah, Frank
Oh
Frank
yeah.
Zappa. I mean, not all of Phish is Frank Zappa. Like, and not all of it is Genesis either, but like especially the early albums, there's a like the quirkiness and the like like the change in direction is very Frank Zappa. And like some of the songs, like I said, like Reba to me sounds like a Frank Zappa cover song. Like that's Frank Zappa 101. Dynamo Hum or like Don't Eat Yellow Snow. Like it sounds like those songs to me. But that's just me.
I think there probably is some inspiration there. Yeah, I think so.
Who's up?
You're number 9, I
Number
think.
nine, sorry, whoa.
All good.
Number nine, Down with Disease. I go with Down with Disease. It's one of my buddy Tristan's faves for sure. I've known the song for a long time. I'm pretty sure Tristan can play it. I love the guitar on this song, but I also love the vocals, like the harmonies, the background vocals. Quite a dang bit. The whoop, 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 whoop. Like that whole part is so cool and just slick, like super tight, slick. Um, Yeah, it's a great. I love the lyrics. Of course, they're great, and that's something new to me too. I didn't realize how great the lyrics of Fish are. They are fucking awesome. So I did not realize that. Down with disease.
You know, it's funny. I instinctively nodded, but actually, I I've never actually thought about much about the Fish vocals or Fish lyrics. I mean, I think a lot of the time they're nonsense, but I think in the later period, I think they have less nonsensical lyrics, don't they? I
I
think,
love them.
but
I think they're hilarious, but I'm also
they're fun.
in the family.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, they're very fun, so I like that aspect of them at least.
Yeah.
Like, I do like the nonsense. Uh, but yeah, my number nine is "Run Like an Antelope." I think it's just a really awesome, just like pretty much guitar solo the entire way through. I love how like weird the structure of the song is too, where it's like it starts on a guitar jam and then it kind of has vocals like at the end, where it's like "Run like an antelope, out of control," and then that's where it kind of breaks into sort of like a chorus. It's one of the oddest like structures that I've seen in a song, but I think it's really cool honestly, and it's very unlike anything that exists. Um, so yeah, really cool song, and it's my number nine for Fish.
Number eight, I'm going with Dirt from Farmhouse. Like I said, for that one hit me really hard this week. For whatever reason, I was so confused at the fact that I've never actually paid attention to the lyrics of the song. And then just the lyrics made the song so much better for me. And yeah, I don't know. It's in contention for number one, but there's a lot of good ones ahead of it. Dirt, number eight, Fish.
Awesome. Number eight, I have "Sample in a Jar." Just such an anthemic melody for some reason, and awesome guitar solo, and that's actually all I have to say about it. It's just such a well written like pop rock song. And honestly, if Fish was not even a jam band, if they just did pop rock, I think I'd still love them. So kind of wild, to be honest. But yeah, really awesome. Number eight.
All right. I'm pretty sure it's the lead song. Nope, I was wrong. Good thing I checked. Number seven. Number seven from Yunta. Yunta. I have the second song, "You Enjoy Myself." Um, I enjoy this yourself a fair bit, and I enjoy like David Bowie's a really cool song on this album that I don't think I mentioned myself, but yeah, uh, "Divided Sky." Dinner and a movie. You enjoy myself. I'm going. Yeah, you enjoy myself. Sorry, is my number seven, and it was between those four from this album to throw in that spot. You enjoy myself.
Pretty neat. My number seven. I'm also just realizing I wrote down Maze twice, so I guess I just really love that song. But anyway,
I've done that
I'm
before,
going.
dude, and it sucks because I remember getting my John Prine, my original John Prine. I got to number three, and I realized that I had a song twice, and to put it like to just throw in a song at number three was not cool. But I just did it
Yeah,
anyways, and it totally screwed up my original video. Anyways, so yeah, it's good that
yeah.
they're
I
close.
like all these are so close for me that it doesn't really matter that I wrote down Maze twice because I'm like, yeah, I mean, it literally changes every day, so I just it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, "Down with Disease" is gonna be my number seven, and I don't know, I see it as very similar to "Sample in a Jar," just a very good like kind of pop rock song, with a very good chorus, and yeah, I also love the guitar solo on this. I also love the backing vocals, like the "stop, stop, stop, stop," whatever they're saying. Uh, and yeah, very cool song.
Agree. All right, that's cool. I did not expect us to have any of the same songs.
I mean, they have a lot of standouts. I think we're still gonna have one more. I think I can feel it.
Do this. Um. All right. Number six comes from Round Room, and I'm going with Mexican Cousin. from Round Room. It was between that 46 Days, All These Dreams, Walls of the Cave. Yeah, but I'm going with Mexican Cousin. After a long, arduous debate earlier today over which one I was going to go with on that album, it led to a long distance phone call to New York City, in fact, to try and narrow this one down. But unfortunately, my friend had different ideas than me, so I couldn't go with it. I couldn't go with it at all. I had to stick to my gut and go with Mexican Cousin.
Fair enough. Also one of my favorites from that album. All right, number six, I'm going with Chalk Dust Torture. Really love the riff to it. Love the guitar solo at the end, and man, the chorus is just really fun to sing. I don't know why I'm going blank on it. I can't. I don't think I can speak while also thinking of how a song goes, to be honest. But just can I live while I'm young? That's what it is. I just there's something just so I don't know. It's like almost a little sad about that, I guess, or like I don't know. I like that sentiment, I guess. It's very fun, and yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say about it. So yeah,
I fully agree with that one. And that was honestly what I thought was going to be my number one, just as like a throw in winner to my number one before I did this dive. I thought for sure. It doesn't make my top 10, but like I said earlier, all Canadians actually know that song. It's actually on Hockey Night Canada all the time. But
it's
they don't
hilarious.
realize that that's a Phish song. I'm sure they do not realize that's a Phish song. They probably think it's some throwaway local band or whatever because Canadians are dumb. All right.
I think they would lose coolness points if they found that out, or they would think they
No, I'm
won.
telling you that like whoever is in charge of music at Hockey Night in Canada is like should be my best friend because I love everything that person like plays on there. It's like rarities and stuff like that that like are just like deep cuts that nobody should know. Like I said, he plays a Ween on it. I'm like, that's Ween or Clutch or like Fish, Chalk Dust Torture or like it's so good. I just shout out to that whoever's doing Hockey Night in Canada's music is great. That's like the biggest deal in Canada for sports. So that's like the whatever Friday night football or whatever the hell you got down there.
It's awesome.
Monday night football. Okay. My is it me or you?
It should be your fifth one, I
Okay,
think,
number
right?
five. Yeah, sorry. Number five comes from the album Farmhouse, and it's First Tube. Um, I became aware of this song watching the Phish New Year's concert. I believe it was in Madison Square Garden just a couple years ago. And they played this song maybe first, maybe last. I don't know, but I definitely heard it and saw it. My buddies always like we're always drinking together or partying together on New Year's Eve. And if we are, usually on the television is the Phish concert. Like that's just a given. So I've heard a lot of Phish like in the background a lot. But I mean, anyways, yeah, First Tube is a standout. My first standout live track is First Tube because it's the first one I remember seeing live with my own eyes on a TV.
Very awesome. My number five is Llama. I'm gonna get repetitive with these. I'm just gonna say, yeah, fun melody, dissonant guitar solo. And the oh man, the drums go ham on this song. The drums go absolutely ham on this song. And yeah, I don't know. It's awesome. So number five.
Yeah, great pick. That almost made my list as well. Number four is from Story of the Ghost. I'm going to Meat. I listen to it a lot. I love the way it sounds. I'm a big fan of Peter Gabriel, and Peter Gabriel did an album. What's it called? Blood Simple or One Blood or something like that. No Blood, Oh Blood, something Blood, New Blood. I think it's called New Blood.
I
And
don't think I've heard that
where
one.
he does his songs with a symphony. It's not like super highly rated or whatever on Rate Your Music and stuff. I love it. And this song, Meat and A Story of the Ghost, sounds to me like a Peter Gabriel produced thing. That's like, it's it's my favorite produced album, and I love Peter Gabriel. And so, Meat could have been a Peter Gabriel track in my mind, but it's not. It's Fish, number four.
Pretty cool. I didn't mention it, but I also quite like Meat from Story of the Ghost. That is a really good song.
It's just a short one. It's not like a real whatever, but I really like it.
Yeah,
Off the bat, I really like it.
it is strange, yeah, 'cause it's like 2 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty good. My number four is my previous favorite Fish song, like a year ago, maybe Split Open and Melt. I would just listen to this all the time. I mean, it's funky, it's jazzy, it's psychedelic. It sounds kind of dark. I think it's about like overdosing on drugs, I think, or something like that. And I love how it's very melodic, but then it goes into that weird bridge section that's like almost heavenly sounding or something, and then it goes back into the chorus, and then like the guitar is like cutting through the mix at the end of it, and yeah, it's just got everything. I mean, it's got guitar, it's got the melody, it's got the psychedelia, it's got an interesting structure to it. Um, I kind of like that there's different types of vocals on it too. Like there's kind of Trey doing some weird, I don't even know what he's doing at the beginning of the song, and then the woman is like singing the chorus. I don't even know who that is, but it's pretty cool. And yeah, it's my number four.
Very, very cool. That sounds like Rich. Um,
Sure.
very,
That's exactly like what he
very
sounds
cool.
like.
Okay. Hold on a sec. All right. My number three comes from Billy Breathes, and it's my favorite song on the album, and it's Theme from the Bottom. Um, I love the way the rhythm is woven together on this song. And it reminds me, it's so well done that it reminds me of a guy named Steveland. Steveland Wonder. Little Stevie Wonder. Man, is there just do the piano and the bass and the guitar and the drums and the way they all just wind together at the start and continue through the song. Dang, that's some elite level like shit. I picture Stevie with the Moog is like the only person I realize capable of doing that. What they did there. That's scary. I don't want to spend money on these guys. But it's very well done, Fish. Very well done. Theme from the Bottom is my number three. Damn good.
That's one that really grew on me when re-listening to them because I knew the song kind of, but I didn't realize how good like that piano part is just kind of like entrancing throughout the whole thing, and yeah, it's got an interesting like rhythm to it for sure. All right, my number three. This is the one I predicted we'd both have. My friend, because you did mention it. My friend is an absolutely brilliant song. It has that like kind of 3 minute intro that's just instrumental, and then it goes into the main kind of part of the song with the vocals. And as I said, I like songs where it feels like the music feels like what's actually going on. Like I like when it's my friend, the a clever ruse, my friend, he lights the fuse, and then that's when the guitar just starts soaring higher and higher and higher and higher, and then eventually they start saying my friend, he's got a knife, and that's when the guitar kind of like breaks into that solo, and then it just keeps repeating that my friend, he's got a knife, and I don't know, everything about it is just so like brilliant, honestly, and so well structured. Um, it goes through all these different sections. It's so proggy, and it has a narrative, and it's I don't know, it's just awesome, and it's kind of goofy too, like so. Yeah, it has a lot of personality to it as well, and yeah, it's my third favorite Fish song, my friend.
Excellent selection, my friend. Number two, I have Ghost off of The Story of the Ghost. Just the way this album kicks in, with this track in particular, bonkers slick. The musicianship on this song in particular, Reminds me of the Funk Brothers from Motown. Just like even like the guitar stuff that Trey does when he's doing the wah wah, three quarters way through the song, reminds me of just that the Funk Brothers where the Papa was Rolling Stone, like that same tone, lick funk underneath this incredible production. It's just you can't like stop, get up and dance. Uh, Ghost. This album, though, like I said, it is full of them. Brian and Robert is Birds of a Feather, Water in the Sky. But yeah, I'm going with Ghost as my number two for Fish.
Awesome. Classic cow funk.
Classic cow funk. That's what I live for.
Exactly. All right, well my number two is is Reba. And yeah, I already talked about it kind of. It's such a brilliant song. I like how it's got such a fun. Okay, I keep saying fun melody, like oh man, saying it way too many times, but it's true. And it feels iconic for some reason. And then that jam, at least on the studio version, is just so good. All the like crazy piano playing before that, just immaculate guitar solo, just so emotional. It's crazy because it's probably not the most like insane guitar solo ever, but the like emotionality in it is just so fulfilling and beautiful. Um, and yeah, I don't know if it's about anything, but I've sometimes wondered if it's about like the beauty of like creating things or something, because it's like oh Reba's like creating uh things with all these like weird ingredients, and it's like the beauty in that guitar solo. I almost wonder if it's like the feeling you get from like creating something or something, but it also might mean nothing. So, but either way, I just find it really awesome. So yeah, Reba, and it's Reba's in my top 20 songs of all time. So that's fun.
Wicked. Okay, yeah, great, excellent selection again. And yeah, you're correct. My number one song comes from Rift, and it is "My Friend, My Friend," which is crazy. But
That is
that is
crazy.
weird because we did not discuss that at all. And this is on first listen, so yeah, that was the point where I was just mind blown, and I was, what is happening here? Like, whoa, hold on a second. Like, shit, I did not expect that to happen at the start of this album. Um, yeah, it was just so good, and I was just locked in, and I felt like I was listening to Bob Ezrin or do The Wall again or something like that. Like I'm locked into a concept album like instantly. And yeah, I didn't know that. Like I just didn't realize they had that. And yeah, I kept this one especially. I just wake up in the morning, my friend's got a knife. Like first thing. And I was listening to it going to bed. So there was that. But yeah, really cool. Really cool concept album where you can really pick any of them, I think. Because I like them all. They're all interesting, just like Bob's album, The Wall, where I like them all. I like all the little songs, the Viras and the Don't Leave Me Nows of The Wall, and I also like every song on this album. So my friend, really sets the stage for what's to come. An incredible, incredible album, and it's my favorite song on it.
That is, yeah, awesome to hear you say that. Yeah. And my number one, it's boring. It's really boring, but it's Stash. At least for the studio albums, and honestly, the live one Stash is like insanely good. But I don't know. There's something about the build up to this song. I don't know if there's any song that I can think of that builds up better than Stash does. Maybe there is. Maybe Professor Nutbutter's House of Treats by Primus. Maybe that one. But or Southbound Pachyderm by Primus. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I can't even describe why I like this song so much. It's just the build up to that solo and just the solo itself. I don't know. It's just so gorgeous. Like I've listened to it like on night drives and stuff, and it's like it's got to be the most like unbelievable, like just wondrous experience. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's just a feeling I get from it. It's probably in my top 10 songs of all time or something. Maybe it's not quite there, honestly. I think Primus just takes up too many slots for my favorite songs of all time, but yeah, it's definitely my top 20. So yeah, very awesome. Did you have Stash as one of your standouts of Picture of Nectar?
I mean, I've got sort of a little bit of beef with Picture Nectar. There's a couple things about it that it's just that I listened to that one a lot at one point, and so I didn't have it as one of my favorite songs just in general. And I skipped over Picture of Nectar a little bit more than I should have just because I'm very familiar with the album. But yeah, I mean, I was so excited about the new listens. I think that like a lot of the stuff that I really normally listen to from Fish just drifted like into the 20s, and Stash is one of them. I definitely was aware of the song for a long time and liked it, but now it's like not my favorite because I'm so excited about all these things I haven't heard before.
That's valid. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna like if you have played something a lot, it's gonna yeah, something like that.
It's got a bit of radio roadkill for me personally.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. I think it's also like maybe their biggest song or like I don't know, it's definitely a fan favorite. So, yeah.
It's one that I actually knew live. Like it's sort of one that I knew the live version of it. And so I don't know why. Maybe my early days of Napster. I'm not sure.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for doing this dive with me. Like I'm so glad you liked it. Like I think I don't know. I haven't introduced like so many people to Fish. Like I've introduced some of my friends kind of, but they've only listened to like a few songs generally speaking. So yeah, it was very cool that you were able to do this dive and I'm glad you enjoyed it. Most of the albums, so very cool.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Thanks a lot, Sword. Check out the channel Sword Reviews because he won't pump his own tires, but I will. And check out the album rankings and the album fucking what is it called? Album of the week fights or something every Monday.
Album Wars, I do them every week,
Album
yeah.
Wars every Monday. Check that out.
And you rank
It's
every
pretty good, and you should check out also his geocacher channel, uh, tracker,
GeoGuessr.
GeoGuessr channel, which I got my son to explain to me what that is. What is that again?
So it's like you basically you can look around like a Google camera, like a Street View camera,
Yeah.
and you have to guess where you are, and you get more points the closer you are.
Fuck, I'd
Um,
probably be pretty good at that. I should definitely try that, GeoGuessr. Okay. Well, maybe you should get me on GeoGuessr reactions or something like that, because I might actually be good at that.
yeah, I mean that would be cool. And I wanted to shout out your channel as well. Would you like
Oh,
to?
yeah, so anyway,
Uh,
oh, hey, by the way, my channel, Joepinionated, is rip roaring. I'm up around 37,000 subscribers, I think. I think that's the number I'm hitting right now. So it's
think so.
I'm really really proud of that. I normally talk about movies and music, and I kind of try to do things seasonally, and I don't really function in the summer. So I mean, probably don't check out my channel too much in the summer, but in the fall. I'll be coming back hitting the television really hard and watching a lot of movies again. And so look forward to my series in the fall. I'll be doing a lot more rad flicks, and that's basically uh, movies that have stood the test of time that we're honoring 20 years or older, and that they've stood the test of time. That's basically the Oscars got it all wrong, and like 1994, for example, Forrest Gump won the Oscar for Best Picture. It's a great movie, but there's also Pulp Fiction and Shawshank Redemption that year. I don't know, but to me, Pulp Fiction's an all timer. So it's things like that, and yeah, check out the channel at Joe Pinionated, and Yeah, you're not going to get any smarter. It's a complete waste of time, but check it out if you feel like checking it out.
And I'll definitely put it in the description as well. And yeah, I love your videos. You make all those like 20, is it 25 best albums of every year and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
yeah.
I've seen a few of
I
those.
did a
They're so good.
yeah, I did like a couple of years taking the time and putting together these lists, and so yeah, I've done 25 best albums from 1969 to 1999, and I intend on going up to modern day in the future.
Awesome, yeah. I've watched maybe five or more of
Wow,
them, like, but
thanks.
I gotta watch all of them probably. I'm not gonna lie.
The
But
playlist, the
yeah.
playlists are where it's at because if you go onto YouTube playlists or onto my channel, I have a bunch of playlists, and so for each year, I have a playlist of a minimum of 100 songs. So even if you're thinking of doing diving a year, I would suggest you check out the playlists on my channel because I've put together. I've usually listened to at least 100 albums from each year, or like around the 100 number, and I've picked out as I'm going through them and added to those playlists my favorite songs from each album that I listen to. So there's a ton of stuff in there that's not on the episodes in those playlists. And that's whatever. And if there's a music video, I try to put those in there so that if you're on YouTube, at least you can watch the video too. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to check out those playlists too. Like, very cool stuff.
Good.
All right, well, thanks for joining me for the dive. I think that's it for today, but if you ever wanna do another artist trade, I'd definitely be
Yeah,
down.
I'm down.
So
I'm definitely down.
yeah.
We'll have to conspire and get on it for sure. I really enjoyed this, so I'm definitely down.
Yeah, yeah. And Ween was awesome as well, so very cool. All right, well, that'll be it for the video. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.